Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, when you talk about like geo-fencing or geo-targeting, typically the way that customers work with that now is that, one, I need to know your location, right? So I can't do that via email. So I need you opted into my app, and I need to know, one, that it's location-based. You've opted in for me to say that it's okay for me to track you, right? Geo-fence retail, like, Big 5 Sports, or whatever location that you have there. But they need to be opted into that other channel, right? Because iOS isn't going to just give you that information. It has to be your app that's feeding it to your database, triggers off an email or an SMS message or something like that, right? Typically, I would say that geo, when it comes to email, is maybe not quite as effective as push or SMS, because if I'm in a location, like if I'm shopping, probably not looking at my email while I'm doing that, but if I get an app push or a message, the first thing I think is one of my friends is messaging me, right? But it might be the retailer saying, hey, go to aisle 10 for a discount, or thanks for visiting, here's a special offer, or whatever it is. So I would probably think about multi-channel if you're talking about geofencing. Still be more effective with it, but you can do location-based anytime, right? It might not be triggered if you don't have an app to send you that data. But at least if I know where that person is and there's like set dates coming up or an event that's happening or something where I can try to drive people to that location, that's like another kind of loose way of working with that.
I think from our side, the geo data we have is usually based on the last engagement. So we don't always have engagement of where they are in that moment. So
Sure.
to your point, absolutely. It has to be connected to something that allows you that kind of authority or information about the user. But there are tools that do track when you go in store, and that can feed back into email systems to trigger these sorts of engagements. The best that I can say we do today is we build out anywhere from 3 to 12 different types of emails that are built based on weather triggers, various things like that. But they're not triggered; they're actually manually tracked and handled, because not all the tools integrate well into the system that we currently use. So, here's a perfect example of a horrible experience I had and I love REI, one of my favorite brands. And I got an email from them about cold weather coats, and we live here, and it's like 9,000 degrees. And I'm like, what? Those are the kinds of things that can piss you off as a user. And you're like, ugh, they clearly don't get it. Right? And then you don't understand, like a brand like that I've loved forever, but I still was like, REI fail, and I also tagged them and tweeted about it, like REI fail, and we can all fail. The key is to always be looking for ways to have many successes, because it's never going to be a huge thing that it used to be.
Perfect.